And I'm unpaused on the ramp. I have a message. Turn your battery and inverter to on and switch your UHF radio to main both on the default frequency. Then press space when you're ready for a radio check with the IP. Okay, let's go battery and inverter. Main both on UHF. Let's press space.
Tusk 2-1, Tusk 2-2, radio check.
2-1 copies you, Lima Charlie. Hey, go ahead and drop the canopy for me so you can hear me a little bit better. It's going to be the silver switch near the bottom right corner of the front dash. Let me know when you have that down and locked.
Okay, sir. Canopy is down and locked.
Alright, now that that is out of the way, I know you have some time in the Alpha, and you've been through the Sim and Dash 1 for the Charlie, but we're going to go through this step by step just to be safe. I do expect you to know all this already, but it's still worth going over. Alright, it's very important that everything happens in sequence, so don't do anything until I tell you to, and don't do anything out of order, cool?
Yeah, of course.
So today's sortie is going to be short and sweet. We're going to go over startup, taxi, takeoff, landing, and shutdown together. I'm going to act as flight lead even though I'm going to be following you around. So I'm going to handle all communications and clearances through ATC for the flight. Copy?
Okay. Anything I should be aware of or know leading us around Vegas?
Just stick to the flight plan and everything will be cool.
Roger that.
Alright, I'm going to pick up the checklist after the pre-flight and cockpit inspections. We're going to be in the prior to engine start section. After I give you a few commands, let me know when you've accomplished those instructions and we'll move on.
Raj?
Alright, obviously our UHF radio, battery, and inverter are up, so we're going to go ahead and move over to the left console. There you're going to find the radar altimeter. Set that switch into the NRM, or normal position. That switch is going to be located just behind the throttles. We're also going to move the main boost pump switches into the main position, and the wing boost pump switches into the winged position. Those switches can be found on the panel ahead of the throttles and up against the front dash. Let me know when you have all of that done.
Okay, radar altimeter to norm, boost pumps, main 1-2, wing 1-2 on, and this is going to be the easiest commentary I've ever done. I'm probably just going to let it play out here and hardly ever come up.
Set.
Awesome. Now moving up near the top left corner of the heads-up display, on the canopy framing, you will find the accelerometer. I need you to press and hold the accelerometer reset button found in the bottom left corner to zero out our G's. Next, on the right console, locate the electrical panel and set both AC generator switches to the power position.
Set.
Alright, now onto the CDU, which is behind the electrical panel. I need you to verify that the page select rotary knob is in other, and the steer point knob is set to mission. Since we're over there, also go ahead and set your oxygen supply lever to on, and your navigation lights into the flash position. I forgot to mention, but on the left throttle you need to put the pinky switch into the aft position, that way all of your exterior lights are working.
Okay, all that is done.
Cool. Now we need to check out all of our caution lights. So back on the left console, just ahead of the SAS panel, you're going to find two buttons. One of those is going to be labeled Signal Lights Lamp Test, and the other one is going to be Fire Detect Bleed Air Leak Test. So let's go ahead, press and hold the Fire Detect Bleed Air Leak Test one. While we're holding that, we're going to scan the dash, looking at the fire handles, making sure they illuminate, and on the master caution panel, we should see bleed air leak flashing with the audible tone coming through the headset.
Okay, that's good.
Great. Now I need you to verify for me that you show 3 green landing gear lights next to the lollipop or landing gear handle.
3 green.
Alright, moving on. I need you to locate that signal light test button. It's going to be next to the button that you just pressed. Here we're going to hold it down and look over a little bit more of the cockpit this time as we have it held down. So go ahead and do that. And first we need to look at the emergency flight control panel, which is going to be next to your radio stack. There we're going to verify that the aileron and elevator emergency disengage lights function. Moving forward, we're going to go to the SAS panel and verify that we see the takeoff trim light illuminated as well. And going forward from that, we're going to look at the lollipop or landing gear handle to make sure it's lit up red. We're going to look up on the dash to see if master caution, steering engaged, marker beacon, and canopy unlock indicators all light up. And lastly, we're going to have a look over on the right console at the caution panel. There we need to verify that all of the lights function properly, and again, we're looking for that audible warning tone through our headset.
Stand by. Okay, that's all good.
Outstanding. Alright, moving over to the fuel quantity and hydraulic indicator panel. Here's where we're going to test our fuel quantity. The first thing that we need to do is check the totalizer, which is the digital numbers. You should see 11,000 pounds of fuel. Is that what you were seeing?
Affirm.
Cool. Let's now press and hold the test indicator button, which you will find to the right of the large fuel display selector knob. Go ahead and do that now. Alright, you should see each needle drop to somewhere around 3,000 pounds. The needles are allowed to be off 300 pounds either above or below that 3,000 pound target. The totalizer should read 6,000 pounds, and it needs to be within 400 pounds plus or minus. So let me know once you have that done and if it's good.
Okay, we're good there.
Right on. Alright, go ahead and move the fuel display selector knob into the main and wing positions, taking note of each displayed quantity as you cycle it. You should see something close to 7,000 pounds in the main and about 4,000 pounds in the wing tanks, and that should add up to your 11,000 pounds of total internal fuel.
Yep, that all checks out.
Perfect. Go ahead and cycle that knob for me back into the internal position. Alright, now moving back to the environmental system panel, we need to check out our oxygen. So go ahead and verify for me that you have a good supply of LOX, which we should have the full 5 liters indicated by the analog gauge.
Affirm, 5 liters.
Alright, now go ahead to press and hold the test button, which you're going to find to the right of the gauge. The needle should slowly begin to fall, and once it reaches 1/2 liter, you should hear the master caution tone and see Oxy Low flash on the caution panel. Let me know once that has been accomplished.
Check.
Now some of the more high-speed guys will tell you we don't need oxygen in the hog. We don't fly high enough to get hypoxia. Well, that's just not true. Quite often we're operating above 18,000 feet, especially when we're worried about AAA, man pads, or terrain like there is in Afghanistan.
Raj, I think I heard that before. Seems like some things never change.
Alright, so here we'd normally call tower to get startup clearance before we fired up the APU. I gave them a call before we stepped and let them know we're going to be out here on the ramp doing some academics. So we just need to give them a call before we start the motors. But for now, let's get the APU up. So what I need you to do is flip the APU switch next to the throttles into the start position. As the APU comes online, I need you to monitor the APU instruments on the front dash. Let me know once the APU is up and everything's good.
Copy.
Okay, APU's coming up. I'm still here, just hanging out, relaxing. This is actually kind of fun doing it without talking. So RPMs are coming up. They're going to stabilize 100%. Temperature is going to stabilize about 450 or so. Okay, so that's a good looking start on the APU. I'll call that good.
Good start.
Nice. Alright, verify that the left fuel pressure light is not lit on the caution panel. And since you're over there, go ahead and move the APU generator switch from the off reset position into the on position now.
Done.
Right on. Onto the CDU panel. So here we need to set the CDU and IGE switches into their respective on position.
Okay, both in the on position.
Alright, so here we're going to deviate from the checklist just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and get our AM and FM radios spun up. We need to do this so that you and I can still talk, but we can monitor the ground freak at the same time. So on your AM radio panel, which you will find located right behind the throttles, go ahead and move the frequency mode dial, or the far right dial, from the off into the TR position, and also set freak for 126.500 and stand by for the radio check.
Set.
Tusk 2-2 radio check, Alpha Mike.
1-2 copies you, Lima Charlie.
Right on. Moving to the FM radio, which is going to be the furthest aft in the stack. Go ahead and put the frequency mode dial into TR as well. Set frequency for 33.000, and again, wait for the radio check.
Set.
Tusk 2-2 radio check, Fox Mike.
1-2 has you 5x5.
Bitchin', we'll use the Fox Mic for inter-flight communication from this point forward today and on all future flights. Alright, back on the UHF radio, let's go ahead and dial in to 270.1. That is the frequency for Nellis ATIS. There we're going to get the most current weather and remarks before we call ground for startup. If you need help with the format, go through the reference card from the briefing and it will break it down piece by piece. Once you've got it all figured out, let me know and we'll go from there. One more thing that may be useful in the future whenever you work with different radios. On the left console, just below the emergency flight control panel, you're going to find the intercom control panel. Here you can set the volume of all navigation and radio systems. If you're expecting a lot of radio traffic, it might be a good idea to reduce the volume of some of them. In this case, you're going to have an ATIS message repeated over and over again. So after you note down the important parts, you can either change the UHF freak or just reduce its volume, okay?
Okay, got it. And he mentioned the data cards and the Kneeboard that I have up. That's Right Shift K. It has all of these pages I've been cycling through loaded by default. They're just embedded as part of the mission. I have all the frequencies backed up here. Because, yeah, there's no way I would have remembered that. So I wanted ATIS 270.1.
Time 2015. Wind 202 for 6. Visibility greater than 10 miles. Broken. 5000 feet. Temperature 43. Dew point 37. Altimeter 2995. Runways in use 03 left 03 right. Expect visual approach. Acknowledge receipt of information hotel and advise aircraft type on first contact.
Okay, that's neat. Yeah, and that's just kind of built into the mission. So even though the ATC that's built into the sim doesn't have that function, we have that backed up there.
Alright, I've got the ATIS info.
Nellis Air Force Base Information Hotel. Time 2015. Wind 202 for 6.
Alright, according to ATIS, what is the current bulletin ID letter?
Oh, come on, you didn't tell me there'd be a test. Okay, I still have it up, so the ID letter is going to be hotel. So let's see here, I've got to use the F10 menu. inter-flight communications on VHF, FM, so let's go F10. And I gotta remember that I can click these now. That was a recent change. Okay, F3 is hotel.
Hotel.
Muscle memory is going to be hard
That's
to overcome
exactly correct.
going up to the keyboard to do a lot of this stuff.
Awesome, we're now ready for startup. So 2, go ground at 275.8, and using your FM radio, please let me know once you are there.
Okay, 275.8. Just need to remember to turn it back up too. Okay, and then on FM. Okay, no, I stand corrected. It's just space to continue from here.
2's up on 275.8.
Okay, just stand by and monitor that frequency. Nose ground, Tusk 2 flight is 286 at Thunder, ready for startup with hotel. Tusk 2 startup approved, hotel is current altimeter is 29905. Copy, startup is approved for Tusk 2. Hey, real quick, you've never TDY deployed or flown outside of the United States either in a military aircraft or your airline job, have you?
Yeah, that's correct. CONUS only.
Right, just a little note, but of course here in the States we use Q&H. On Thunder Ramp we're at 1,845 feet MSL, so we want to set our altimeter to that, of course. When we deploy, which may not be too far off in the future, the way things are looking, we'll probably be using QFE depending on the host station. But again, here at Nellis and in the rest of CONUS, we use Q&H. Copy?
Raj.
Go ahead and adjust your seat height to where you like it, and that will finish off this part of the checklist. We're going to go ahead and move into starting engines.
Okie doke, I am all set. And yeah, so far this is actually a lot of fun. I mean, I already know the A-10 obviously, but yeah, step by step like this. I mean, a person could do this as the absolute first thing, just grab the aircraft and hop right into this. I mean, you would, like it said in the briefing, yeah, you would be better off doing the training missions that are included with the A-10, and of course, like it said, reading the manual, and it even outlines exactly what to read for each mission. But yeah, this is actually kind of cool. Let's go through space
Copy. Ready.
and get our engine start going.